Hi, and welcome to the Media Bubble Podcast. I'm Karol, he's Fredrik, and today we're going to talk about the Summer Game Fest 2023.
Yeah, our yearly tradition with speaking of video games news this time of year, because I don't exactly know why, but this is usually when there's a whole lot of new video game news that comes out.
I feel like it's the most appropriate time because it gives enough time for people to be hyped and for them to announce dates close to Christmas so that they can hype up the Christmas sales.
Yeah, it's always about the Christmas sales.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the things that we found most interesting announcement in these events. So we have picked a top 5 that we're going to talk about that for a reason or another looked most interesting for us.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because these are the games we're most interested in. We can talk about the most. And as I said in the previous iterations of this episode, it always became a chore. We just rambled on names. It wasn't really even fun to record.
No, the thing with the previous recordings was for me it always kind of just felt like we just said the things that everybody probably already knew.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like our listeners, if you want the full view of the Summer Game Fest, there is an official website. There's with every single of the live streams listed. I think IGN made a very good coverage of the whole event with links to all of the previous announcements for games because some of the games they were already announced, but now we just have more information.
Yeah, and one game that has been announced for a while that is my first pick, Lies of P. I always want to say Life of P, but it's Lies of P.
One letter extra.
Which is a soul-like game inspired by the tale of Pinocchio, which is releasing this year, September 19, 2023, for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, and Windows. So it's coming out to PS4, which means that I can actually play this game.
Yeah, wait, did they actually give a release date for this?
I just said the release, September 19, 2023.
Yeah, because I was still a little bit in disbelief. But I feel like, this game seems like right up your alley and mine. It's heavily Bloodborne inspired, but it's also Pinocchio. And
yeah, we get to talk more about Pinocchio.
Yeah, this really is the year of Pinocchio. This is like the fourth one this year?
I guess we talked about Pinocchio this year, but the 2 previous films came out last year.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, you're correct. Because I was thinking Guillermo del Toro's, the weird one, Disney remake, and now this one.
Yeah, but I remember the first time I actually saw this, and it was Screen Junkies' honest trailer. I watched I think they did the 3 Pinocchio films from last year, and then they showed this a little bit at the end, and I was just, what is that? I haven't seen this before. And I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something I just like about this team, and the fact that they have put some Pinocchio elements in it. Like, for an example, Pinocchio this time, I don't think he isn't a puppet, but he is like animatronic, if I understand it correctly.
He's not a real boy, at least.
No. He's a robot boy.
A puppet is like a robot.
Yeah, it's kind of supposed to fill in for, yeah.
I kind of want to spoil our next episode with this, but anyway, I feel like because I'm also glad that it's supported on so many platforms. I think PS5 is kind of hard to justify with how many games. Like, it's kind of to justify the price because a lot of games are still coming out on PS4, and other platforms.
Yeah, that's something that's still weird to me. PS5 is entering its third year, and there still is a lot of games that are coming to PS4.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just the fallout out of the like chip shortage. Like they are not expecting to be like people to buy the newest console after the pandemic and after like the economic downturn that we're entering right now.
I guess it was a bit of a bad timing.
Yeah, really sucks for PlayStation. But Lies of P.
But yeah, Lies of P. If you're wondering about the title, apparently there's kind of some system where you can talk with some characters, and you can maybe choose if you lie or maybe tell the truth. There's apparently three different endings to this game.
And they are dependent on your choices
Yeah.
with the other characters. That's nice.
I'm not sure about the other character. I'm not exactly sure how this lie mechanic works. I just know that there's three different endings.
Because I know, well, let's make it obvious. Let's compare this to Bloodborne, which for me is the fairest comparison and also kind of a compliment. In that game,
You can see the inspirations from this game.
yeah, exactly.
It's so like.
But the problem with Bloodborne, I mean, the gameplay is stellar, but you don't really have any option to socialize with the NPCs. There are sparse like binary choices, but you cannot lie to them. You cannot spend time with them, so I'm kind of hyped for this one.
I guess it's kind of replacing the whole thing with Pinocchio's nose ID. Because he can't grow a bigger nose in this game, so...
That we know of.
Yeah, maybe we're up for a surprise when we play this.
I think it'd be funny if they kind of spin, like they spin it a little bit like Metal Gear. So in Metal Gear 5, if you're doing evil deeds, you have a big chunk of like splinter growing out of your head, and it grows. So maybe similar system here. Maybe there will be like visible changes on your character. Probably just speculation.
The only thing that worries me a little bit about this game is that I know nothing about the game developers. There's apparently some game developers that is from South Korea. I don't really know anything about them or the director. But there has been released a demo, and I have heard good things about that demo, so hopefully this will be pretty good. It certainly looks very interesting, I have to say.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, there's something just about this style that I am so interested in, and I have gotten more into Soul games recently.
You still have to play them with me, come on! We have to find the time to do it sometime.
Yeah. Let's see, should we go to the next one?
Yeah, let's go. So the next one was my choice. And similarly to P, there's only little snippets of information about it.
Isn't this Star Trucker?
Yeah, it's Star Trucker. It's a trucking simulator, but you're in space. And there's apparently some kind of a story going, like there's some kind of narrative as you're trucking throughout like the asteroid belts and the space, and it just looks so interesting to me.
What is it exactly that looks so interesting to you about this?
I mean, if you look at the pictures that you even picked up, like you're in space and you're not expecting this American old school trucking throughout space, or have like state signs on the signs in space. There's just a lot of Americana that I really like. I also listened recently to a cool podcast that kind of made me kind of enjoy the space trucker theme. It's called what was it called? My mind is going blank. Maybe well, if I remember the podcast, then I'll tell you. But it's about a truck stop in the middle of like astral plane, and it has like space theme. But yeah, I think it will be a cool game. It's, as I said, it's a trucking sim, but you're in space. There will be a narrative told through you, no, told through you and to you through the radio, because you can apparently interact with some other characters on your way. Um, there will be banging music, country, rock, jazzy vibes, mixed with some intergalactic like feeling. Uh, so yeah, I'm interested where it will go because I never played like a trucking simulator, but this
Mm.
kind of has me interested.
If I'm being honest, I was a little bit. I remember seeing this at the. I don't. Was this Microsoft? I don't exactly remember where, but I remember seeing this, and if I'm being honest, I was surprised to know that you picked this one to talk about because I kind of just saw it as uninteresting. If I'm being honest.
I think it kind of shows how different our tastes are because it's just so out of left field that it got me immediately hooked.
Yeah, I did not know this side of you, where you apparently like old Americano vibes truck in space.
Oh god. Okay, I remember the podcast. What was it? So the first one was Desert Skies. I recommend give it a listen. It's like a narrative thing. The other thing was Alice Isn't Dead. It was also about a trucker looking for her wife. And I think it
Hmm.
just because of these books it made me interested in this.
I remember that there is some kind of old anime series from like the 80s or something called Galaxy Express or something like that, and it isn't of a truck, but it's kind of a train that goes to through space.
I think my synapses are like activating. I think I've also heard of it.
But yeah, it's a trucking simulator in space. I guess if you're driving a normal truck, you can kind of just go right to left and forward. I guess now you are kind of opening up to some up and down.
Yeah, there's more directions to go. The
Mm.
space is the last frontier.
There's
Apparently,
more to deliver.
it's gonna come out in 2024, so I have a little time to get hyped and for us to receive more info. Um, so what have you picked besides Lies of P?
Okay, I guess the next thing we're going to talk about is Final Fantasy 16, which is pretty soon coming out. This was, I guess there was a trailer that came out in PlayStation Showcase. There also was some kind of celebration event that, if I'm being honest, I didn't watch. Like it was like 3 hours long or something like that.
Yeah, I can imagine not finding the time for that.
And it is a bit of a tragic to I guess for me to speak about this game because as you might have heard, don't have a PS5. I don't really think that I will pick up a PS5 in the future, if I'm being honest. Uh,
Same.
so it's kind of like this is a cool game that I'll like what I'm seeing from, but I won't be able to play this.
Yeah, I mean, I that's why I kind of fear for the future of Final Fantasy, yeah, 16 because I am hyped for this game, but I don't think I'm get a PS5 enough hyped.
No,
And I
no, it kind of has been that trouble with that the PS4 and PS5 kind of has had the same games for a really long time, and now we're finally getting to games that are exclusively to PS5.
yeah, and it's
Three
gonna be like a
years in.
yeah, it's a tough transition for the non PS5 owners. I know that Final Fantasy 14 will apparently not support expansions past like 7.0 on that platform. So I'm just like I'm playing how much I can because I don't want to get a PS5.
Mm. So these trailers that were released, I guess they were more focused on actual combat in the games. From what I understand, there was one that uh, if I'm being honest, of all the trailers I have seen of Final Fantasy 16, these were probably the weakest, to be honest. They had some cutscenes from stories, but mostly it was like a bit of story where they say something, then cut to gameplay and do that process over again with these trailers.
You know what? I kind of appreciate it because they are not spoiling the game, and at the same time, I'm really interested in combat since we know that Platinum, who made like Bayonetta and Nier Automata, they also pitched in to Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like we needed anything more really. As I said, this game is soon out. I know that there has been a demo that has come out, which I haven't really heard yet what they said about the demo, but I don't know. There's something about Final Fantasy 16 that looks interesting, both in a story-wise with its dark kind of theme of, I guess, revenge and the crystal mechanics, the world, the gameplay. I really think looks interesting for a Final Fantasy game. It feels like a step forward.
And it's also rated R.
Oh.
Yeah, so this. I mean, I think they explained that they didn't want to like. It's not they're gonna make it gory or like make it like they're gonna make characters say fuck like in Family Guy, not constantly. But they are using it to show some very sad scenes in the game, and I'm hyped for it. Like, let's go.
Actually, if I remember correctly, that was something that was a bit surprising to me with Lies of P was when how much blood was shown every time Pinocchio slides someone up.
Yeah, I mean he's a machine, so he's not gonna care. Like it's just like he wipes off blood. That's it.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 looks interesting. I hope it's good. I hope that we don't really get a situation with Final Fantasy 15.
God, I hope not. I mean, they have writers from 14. They have music by Soken. They have gameplay with Platinum. Come on, like
yeah. This looks too good to fail. If I'm being honest, I hope those words age well.
Me too. Please God. Okay, next up, it's one of the games I picked, and it's Stray Gods.
Yeah. What conference was this from? Because I don't know.
It's from Tribeca Game Showcase.
Oh, okay.
They have a lot of showcases. They even have like Cozy or was it Wholesome Direct? But they have a lot of games on that, so I wasn't able to check them all of them out. But nevertheless, Stray Gods, made by Summerfall Games, and it's scheduled for August. This is a role-playing musical game. So the tagline is Stray Gods, the role-playing musical. This is a visual novel where it's a musical. The main character, Grace, becomes a muse. So Calliope from the Greek mythology, one of her friends dies, and she is taking her place. She's replacing her friend. A lot of the
how is she replacing her friend?
It's not explained. There is this spark of energy that she absorbs after her friend dies, and she's thrown into this wild adventure with Greek gods. I think in one of the pictures that's Apollo, I feel like. And they have this system where, yes, there are musical numbers, but you can change the tone of the musical number as it's been going on. So they wrote different branching of paths in the musical. It's so cool.
From the little things that I saw, the actual game in this is it like the 3 choices that you make? Is that the whole game mechanic?
I guess it's something a little bit close to like Telltale games.
Is there some kind of music element of gameplay in this, or?
No, I think it's mostly story.
Okay.
But I also wanted to show it because of the aesthetics. It really, like, these purples and blues, they kind of remind me of The Wolf Among Us. And I really like that game. So I'm hoping this is good. and also branching musical. Like, ah, that's insane.
I was a little surprised when you chose this game because I couldn't remember seeing it.
Yeah, Trivecta Showcase. They also had some other gems, but like not only the musical numbers, you also have relationship with the gods that affect the music.
Oh.
I just want to see this in action. Please let me show it. Let me play it.
Yeah, I saw something about Apollo having a bit of a role in this game.
Yeah. I mean, he brought the knowledge to the people, so he can also bring down the beat, I guess.
Guess so. Okay, next for me, Sonic Superstars. 2D Sonic, but with today's graphics and 4 players. Late 2023 for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox X, and Windows. So like all the platforms.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move, because I don't think this is a title that people would go off to buy like a PS5.
No, definitely not. This feels like a game which has the graphics that can be transported for every game console, which you kind of expect for a 2D Sonic game.
I just kind of worry about the performance on the Switch, because you said that there will be also a Switch port. How that will play?
I don't really worry about that. Like, I feel like Switch games usually have done a good work on that port.
No, I don't blame the Switch. I blame the Sonic team.
Oh, okay, yeah. You never know with the Sonic team. Like one of the fun things that is almost one of the fun things to discover with Sonic games is, are they good or not?
It's like a loot box. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Are we gonna go and get a good Sonic game, a decent Sonic game, or a trash Sonic game?
I mean, there's always danger of the bad one. Like, we had a lot of bad ones. But
the last
I brought
one,
it up because
the last one, open world, Sonic. What was it called now? Well, that one was good at least.
Yeah, but going back to the Switch, the performance on the Switch was abysmal. A lot of people played that game on PC instead because of how badly it ran and how badly it was optimized.
I can understand that with that open world Sonic game that pushes the graphics, but this one, I don't really think that this pushes any console that far enough that will be a problem.
But yeah, I mean, it's 4-player. I wanna see if it's like Rayman where you have to cooperate, or if it's 3D Land where you fight each other.
One thing that I found it weird in some way to have a Sonic game to be 4-player, because the whole thing with Sonic is go through levels kind of fast, and that mechanic doesn't go too well with multiplayer, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we had games like Speed Racer where the speed was the point, but even then, still, it was a competitive game, not a co-op game.
But yeah, new 2D Sonic game, and I don't know, I'm always a Sonic fan. I even have appreciation for some that are a bit iffy.
Yeah, I will also look forward. I think if we get to play it, then I'll make my opinion. But I'm looking forward to trying it.
Which character do you want to play as of these 4?
Probably Knuckles.
I probably would want to play Amy. She has a hammer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she is a girl boss, a girl queen.
Maybe they try to turn her more into that, but Amy's past personality was a fangirl, or I guess it's in some points still is a little bit, but she was like crazy in love with Sonic and just ran after him.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just not used to fangirl Amy, because I prefer her, at least the iteration we had in the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, where she was a little bit like a girl boss, girl
Did you
queen,
play
girl
that?
slay. I finished it. It was good.
Was it? Like if I'm being honest, I didn't even realize that was an actual game at first. But I just thought it was a real April Fool joke, and no, there's no game like that. They just were kidding.
It's a real game, and it's really good. Like, it has a lot of funny moments and a sweet story.
What the crap.
Try it. It's free. It's maybe an hour and a half long.
Okay, but yeah, this new 2D Sonic game looks interesting. It looks like a 2D Sonic game with better graphics, if you're being honest.
Yeah. Sonic. What was the name of the game?
Superstars.
Sonic Superstars. When is it out? This year? Next year?
Late 2023. There isn't exactly a date yet.
Probably around Christmas, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, something like that. Gotta get those Christmas money.
Gotta squeeze them kids dry. But my pick was another game. I think it was also Tribeca. So I wanted to talk about Goodbye Volcano-High. It's from Co-op. That's the name of the developer. And it's a cinematic visual novel about dinosaurs in the last year of high school. In this case, there is a music element. You play as the main character is a guitar player in her high school band. There's teen angst, drama. It's silly. They're like, it's the end of their like time in high school, but also they are dinosaurs, and there are rumors about an asteroid coming to Earth and probably killing them all.
Has there been a previous game, or is this the first?
It's the first game from at least from these developers, I feel like. So yeah, it's the end of the world because high school is ending, but also end of the world because there's an asteroid on the way to Earth.
What a crap time to be alive.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of touched upon it in the presentation. Like, it's like your last year. What would you do if you know if you knew you had a year left?
Will they commit to that asteroid ending, or do you think that it just missed us or something?
I think they intend to fully commit.
Okay.
Like, they haven't outright confirmed it during the presentation, but they did mention that, like, yeah, at the beginning they start with like gallows humor, but then it proceeds to be a little bit more real.
Okay. From what I could see about the trailer that I saw for this game, to me it looked a bit similar to the other music game you had before, where this game is a lot of choice making and some timing puzzles as well.
Yeah. You know what? I think I just have this soft spot for visual novels. And I also picked this game because it reminds me, now it clicked, it reminds me of Night in the Woods.
Oh, okay.
It was also this teen angsty story about a young woman coming from university, and she failed university, and she came back to this little town and reconnected with her old friends.
That old classic story.
Well, I mean, there's also a cult going on, but it's a little bit in the background.
Oh, okay.
There's like people dying and stuff. And people disappearing. Oh.
What happened to Steve?
Yeah, but that was about Night in the Woods. I feel like it has good potential. It could be fun. Goodbye Volcano-High.
Do you know how long this game is?
No, they haven't mentioned.
Okay. Because when I was watching the trailer, I was surprised of how lengthy this kind of felt.
Yeah, but it still left a lot of, in my opinion, like a lot of question unfinished. I mean, we still have the impending asteroid on its way. Like, there are newscasters talking in the radio about the probable end of the world. We don't know what they're gonna do.
No, let's see. Okay, next I guess we have Lord of the Rings Return to Mordor, if I remember correctly.
No, Return to Moira.
Return to Moira.
Return to Mordor. Oh my god. But I guess this is one of my picks, right?
Yeah, you should know, Karol. Yeah, this is one of your picks.
Yeah, wait. Does that mean he wants to play the dwarf game with me? Like, is this an invitation?
No, this is your choice, Carol. I have switched it up for the last four.
So, Lord of the Rings Return to Moira, it's, well, it's a dwarf game. You and four, five, I know how many, but fellow dwarfs venture out into the world of Moira, of the labyrinth underneath the mountains, trying to reclaim the home of the dwarves. This gameplay takes 2 years, like 2 decades after. No, 2 decades after the Amazon original movie, 1 decade after the original trilogy. So this is like future. Next, like this is the next canonical thing, the closest to canon we have.
What exactly was so interesting to you about this game?
So I think the graphics, the setting, and also I kind of play a lot of Deep Rock Galactic, which is about dwarves going to space trying to mine asteroids. Um, so there's already a theme going on. And I really enjoyed that game because it's like hop in, mine some, chat with friends, have smiles and laughs. I think this might be similar, plus with base building and crafting, which is gonna be fun if you're gonna sink your time into this.
To me, when I watched this originally, I thought that while the world looked a bit interesting or a bit good, I just thought that the dwarves themselves looked a bit like PS2 or PS3.
Yeah, I can see why. It's not the prettiest game.
Another thing that I reacted to was that they didn't show a lot of actual gameplay. They showed a lot about the settings and the world. They didn't show that much in the trailer about how you actually play in that game.
Yeah. I mean, we already had a lot of information about this game coming out from I think last year. I think this year we got confirmation that it will be coming out in fall 2023. But most of the information was already online, like how it plays, how it looks like, what's the objective, how will the generation of the world work. So yeah, I don't think that's the reason why they didn't really go in depth on the gameplay side of things.
So you're looking forward to this one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's procedurally generated labyrinth with dwarves. It sounds fun. Not gonna lie.
Okay, I hope it's good then.
Thank you. So what did you pick?
Okay, next, SpiderMan II from one of my favorite developers, Insomniac, comes the sequel to the original Spider-Man game, which came out in 2018. And I played that game. I 100%ed that game. It's one of the few that I actually managed to get a platinum trophy from. I enjoyed the original so much, and here comes a sequel that is kind of the same problem. I can't play this. It's only on PS5, but it certainly looked good at least.
I mean, if we're gonna keep count, we have Final Fantasy 16, we have Spider-Man 2, and I think what other game was PS5 exclusive on this list?
I have one other PS5 exclusive that I'm going to talk about a bit later on.
So you might have some incentive to buying a PS5.
Not enough. Maybe, but I'm not going to. Well, this game is releasing October 2023 for the PS5. And it's kind of the main kind of villain this time is or the main villain is probably Venom, but the villain that is very focused on at very least is Kraven the Hunter, who is coming to hunt in New York with his many hunters, I guess.
Yeah, Kraven is cool. I'd like to see him be more in more Marvel media.
Yeah, he has been rumored for a while. I feel like to be the next villain for a Spider-Man film or something like that. Before I felt it was Mysterio. Then when they did Mysterio in a film, I felt like they went to Kraven. Fan speculation, I feel like.
I mean, he's hot, he's funny, and he's dangerous.
He's funny.
Little okay, so because I read Squirrel Girl and he's a lot in that one.
Is he?
So I guess I have skewed perception. Sorry.
Okay, I didn't know that fact. And
Yeah, like they're friends.
I guess this is also an adaptation of the Venom storyline where Peter gets the Venom suit and he apparently gets new abilities with that, like he can attack enemies at the same time and another few different things.
I remember now the video. It's like all weird, like liquidy, latexy attacks, right?
Yeah, the thing that was so showcased was like 10-minute footage of the game, and it kind of showcased the Spider-Man Venom suit and then some kind of water chase where Miles Morales is trying to get to Dr. Connors while being chased by Kraven the Hunter at the same time. The lizard is also a lot bigger than I probably would have expected, and I have never really...
Yeah, there was this sequence when they went under the bridge, right?
Yeah. I have never really thought about this, but yeah, I guess they have given this version of the lizard a bit more of a crocodile feel, because he was a lot in the water swimming.
Yeah, I think that's a buff. Like, crocodiles are cool.
And yeah...
And now he's... I'm not gonna talk about my awful taste in men. I think this is a really good game.
What happened here? What was that comment? We were talking about crocodiles and suddenly I'm not going to taste about my taste in men.
I think there's just a lot of information that I'm pinning on myself I'm just trying to like step aside. I'm trying to like swerve around.
Okay. Who do you think is in the Venom suit?
I hope it's Brock. Like
No, it isn't Brock. They have confirmed that it will not be Eddie Brock.
Ah, maybe it's Gwen Stacy.
From what you can understand, it will probably be Harry Osborn, but who knows?
Who knows? I mean, I was just shooting everywhere. I don't know. I think whatever's in that suit, it's not as interesting as just Venom being here.
As I said, I really enjoyed like everything about the original game. I like the gameplay, the story, how it kind of felt like it was a kind of evolution of the Spider-Man character. It wasn't like, oh, let's have him be 16 years and be high school again. No, this kind of felt like an evolution, and I don't know, I kind of just felt like that was fresh at that time, and yeah, plus I really like the Insomniac games that I have played from that company. Like, I feel like they are really good game developers, and yeah, this will probably be good.
Yeah, let's hope so. I'm crossing my fingers for you. But another game, it's the last from my prepared list. It's namely from Atlus. We have Metaphor ReFantazio. We don't have an announce yet. We had an announcement, but we don't have anything when it comes to date, when, what platform. It was on an Xbox showcase, so it could be an Xbox exclusive, maybe PC and Xbox. But with the P3 Reloaded announcement that we had, not announcement, just confirmation, God, what a mess that was. It was multi-platform, but it was during Xbox event. So Metaphor could be for all platforms.
Yeah.
This is Project Fantasy, something that Atlus has teased already in 2017. A lot of people have speculated that the project was dead in the water. We had no information until now. And basically, the people that made P3, P4, and P5, they have come together to make this game. It's giving a lot of Persona vibes. Just the enemy design, the world, the art, the menu design. it's giving a lot of panache.
I generally thought that this was like Persona 6 or something. Like it felt so similar to Persona games. And then I read like a comment from the creators on IGN or something, and they were like, "No, this is not this is a breakdown from Persona and Shin Megami Tensei and going back to the old school RPG elements or something like that."
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm all for, but it still has that Persona flair. Like, as I said, the menus, the battle, like the pictures you have taken, it's just the fights, the enemies, just this bombastic, big, like symbolical enemies.
It
So
really
cool.
feels like Persona 6 to me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a negative in this at this time. Apparently, it's gonna be like a fantasy drama. It's gonna be maybe contemporary because it had some like words about at the beginning, at least in the trailer. It's gonna be a little bit like, what if this reality is someone's utopia? So who knows?
Oh.
But we know that we have elves, we have like different races. It's gonna be very fantasy themed.
Yeah, fantasy
the main
team
character-
with modern technology team, I guess.
Yeah, which is fresh, nice, cool.
It's a mix.
Yes, and the MC has a skateboard, which I think is really fun.
If I'm being honest, like this, when we had 5 picks, this was my number 6 pick.
Oh, so you had it in the back of your mind. You wanted to talk about this.
I had this as I thought it looked interesting and a new kind of Persona vibe game from the creators of Persona 3, 4 and 5. I have only played a Persona 5, so I couldn't really say that I was really unfamiliar with how the older RPGs played or something like that. Like, my only impression is pretty much Persona 5. This looked like a new interesting RPG, which I like.
So when we play it, we can talk about it. We can prep a video. Just we sink 100 hours into this game.
Well, let's see, because this was at Xbox events, and I'm pretty sure that both you and I won't have an Xbox.
Yeah, but as I said, they also announced Persona 3 Reloaded, and that was during the Xbox Live conference, but it was for all the platforms. So we'll see. As I said, we only have announcement that this is being worked on.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
This will probably be 2 years away or something like that.
Yeah. And also, I think Atlas has a soft spot for PlayStation.
Yeah, it's surprising that they chose to show this on Xbox. I feel like
it's weird, isn't it? But I mean,
it kind of
PlayStation didn't have an
always
event this
felt
year.
like a PlayStation thing.
Oh wait, they did have an event.
Yeah, they did.
That's weird. You're right. They didn't announce it on PlayStation 1.
Well, to the last pick and to I guess my last pick, Final Fantasy VII Reborn, which is feels kind of weird to talk about 2 Final Fantasy games, but I guess I'm just a big Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah, looks like it.
Let's see, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's the sequel to Remake, and Remake was a phenomenal game. Not only in its RPG element evolution gameplay, but also in how it looked. Like, sometimes I couldn't believe I was playing a game with the remake.
Yeah, I can imagine the feeling. Like, I tried some of the remake and it's really nice. It plays really well.
And this is the next step in the Final Fantasy VII story, which, from what I can understand, this will be there will be 3. This will be a trilogy, and this is the middle part of that trilogy, but they also kind of tease now and then that, oh, we're not going to play it exactly like the original game story went. We're going to have some the different things happened, and I guess one thing that they were kind of trying to tease was that Tifa was killed by Sephiroth before, but she's in the party, so how does that work?
I think it's a good choice on their part to switch it up a little bit, since
it certainly creates fan speculation, at least.
yeah, buzz, hype, and also it gives the game its own identity in a way.
Do you really think that they have killed Tifa off?
There's a bike outside my window asking the same question. Why are you biking? It's a Thursday.
It's a Wednesday.
There's 50 bikes outside my window right now. What the hell?
Yeah,
this is so goddamn typical. Why?
Okay, from what I saw of this trailer, the world looks somehow bigger. I don't really know how they can develop this as fast from the first part, because this looks so big.
I kind of hope they don't go with the route with the 15 did, because it felt it was big, but a lot of it felt empty.
Yeah, let's see. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. For some reason, I have faith that this will probably. I think that I really think that they will try to make this as good as possible. That's kind of how I felt when I was playing the remake, at least.
I hope it's good, because I have to yet to finish the remake, so I want to play that as well.
So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looks interesting. Looks like they're twisting around a bit and looks bigger, more ambitious, more playable party member.
Can I also add one thing? So during the live conference, there was like, oh, look at this game, it came out. But a lot of people fixated on Sephiroth because they were like appreciating his skin, which sounds weird, but like, I mean, guess he has a nice skin. And then people like, there was a whole ass debate about, yeah, I guess it's really realistic because Sephiroth has blackheads on his nose. And it's like, no, it's just pores. It's just like normal people stuff. It's not he washes himself. He takes like he has somebody give him like a blackhead plaster. It was so dumb.
Well, if I'm kind of just looking at the lighting that we have on this picture, he is kind of giving up of some kind of hot vibe.
It's when Sephiroth looks at you in the club. I mean, I'd smooch him. He's very kissable.
I wouldn't know that, but okay, Karol.
No, but like even in the remake, like when he haunts Cloud's nightmares, it's just like, oh my god, his lips. Like, my man.
Okay.
Give me a smooch.
I can believe you, Karol.
Anyway, this is not about my taste in men.
So sometimes it has been weirdly.
But we came to the end of our list. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish off this episode?
Let's see. There was a new trailer for the Plucky Squire. That game still looks good. I'm still interested to play it when that comes out. For Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Why have Xbox consoles so weird names? They started with Xbox, then it was Xbox 360, then Xbox One, now Xbox Series X.
You can always say Bonex. I think that's like the gamer term, Bonex.
Yeah,
like
but the Plucky Squire still looks interesting, still looks fun, still has an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, it was 2D goes 3D, and you venture throughout the whole room through like cups and paintings and like maps and stuff.
Yeah, it isn't just a book you go in, it's other different things across the room.
Yeah, it's everything. For me, oh, I wrote some games, but quickly mention. I mean, yeah, we have Reloaded, which like, I mean, there are other games I want to talk about, but I just wanted to mention it was so funny because before the official announcement, I think
It leaked.
the yeah on their Instagram like a day before, and it was so funny because they leaked like Reloaded, and they also leaked Persona 5 Tactica,
Mm.
and it's like the next day people have already noticed. Oh, they're looking for their media manager for their socials.
Okay.
The guy got fired.
Unfortunately, I kind of can believe that.
Yeah, so everybody, yeah, ooh, we're so surprised. Persona 3 Reloaded.
We haven't seen this before.
Yeah, and also continuing with the trend, after the presentation, I think it was IGN who showed off even more gameplay that was I don't think was meant to see the time of day.
Oh, okay.
It's just hilarious. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the tea.
I also thought that the new Fable game had a really interesting and fun trailer. I haven't ever played a Fable game. I didn't even really know that much about the series before this trailer, but the trailer was really fun and interesting, I have to say.
Yeah, Fable is really charming.
Have you
I've seen
played
lots
a
of Let's
Fable
Plays on
game
it.
before?
Yes, I haven't played it to the finish. I only dabbled, but I've seen a lot of Let's Plays on YouTube. And it seems really fun. So I might give it a try too.
Yeah, the trailer looked at least kind of fun. I guess two that I can kind of just mention quickly. Sandland and Phantom Blade Zero looked good.
Yeah, Sandland. I forgot about it, but I also wanted to talk about it. It looks just different. It looks nice. It's just you're in the desert, Akiyama style. You're a little demon driving a tank, and it's like, what is this game about? I want to know more.
Yeah, it's based on apparently a mini manga created by Akira Toriyama from I don't know 2001 or something like that.
I thought you wanted to say, oh, that Dragon Ball thing.
No, the Dragon Ball thing, that little small thing.
But I feel like this is a good time. Like we have a good flow, so let's finish this episode. Listeners, if you want to see more, I beg of you, go check out more information online. There's comprehensive lists of everything that's been announced.
Can I also just mention that there was probably way too many games in some of the indie showcases. Like the problem with showing too many games is that when it comes to the end, you won't remember half of them. So that's kind of just a problem that I thought of.
I agree because like I thank God I had like the summer games show website to help, because it made me like more easily okay, these are the conferences I've missed, these are games I could have checked. But let's say the Wholesome Direct, they had like 20 or 30 games. I'm not gonna check all of them since that's a lot of games.
Yeah, and think that we only talked. Okay, we talked a bit more than 10, but we kind of our focus was 10.
Yeah.
Karol, do you want to end it?
Yes. So, dear listeners, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Media Bubble Podcast. Hit that subscribe button of passion because it means a lot. And big thanks to Jahzzar for intro and outro song Comedie. See you again in the next episode and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.